Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks. Somebody sent me this and they told me don't worry about the wordage. They're just having trouble tracing the turkey and the Santa Claus. And I don't like it when I can't really help. Normally I can help people. This isn't that much. They did tell me they're going to grave it on wood. I don't know how many they're doing. If they're only doing one or two, you could run this in two different passes and move this out of the, well, you have to take out that black and move the gray out of the way and take out that black and engrave that, and then move this out of the way, up or down out of the laser bed, and then move this. Well, that's going to be your outline. You want that. I put an outline around it, just kind of give it a little more, and I didn't clean it up too much. So engrave all that, and then take this and engrave it at a slower power. Even though it's gray and it's going to be less, if you run it twice, you'll have much more control, because you could run this really fast and really low power, and if it's not quite dark enough, you could run it again. Now, if you're going to do a lot of trophies with this, maybe just try it like this and maybe make this even lighter. You could even put some sort of checkerboard or even feather graphic in here. You could do it with the turkey, just so the yellow is going to be the wood. Everything that's yellow is the wood. So I'm just going to show you what I did, and they can take it from there. I took your logo and cropped out all the green. So with something selected, I always make a duplicate of it. With it selected, it has to be selected. Take your crop tool. Since we're not worried about the wordage, just make sure you get everything and hit crop. And then I reduced it in size quite a bit. Now, it's still, at first I thought, that's not that fuzzy. So I'm going to go to Trace Bitmap, Outline Trace Clip Art, and you could try other traces. I might even try one later, like low quality. And it's got so many lines in it, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to nudge it over. So that's our trace copy. Let's bring in a yellow box and go up to object order, back a page. And you can just see the white. Well, we're going to get rid of the letters anyway. So let's go up to object and group and ungroup it. I'm going to take away my yellow box. I don't need it. And I'm just going to get rid of all this garbage. And another way you can look at it in a second, we'll look at under wireframe. But see, there's multiple lines. There's a shadow there. There's a bunch of lines. And I'm going to look at it under wireframe and see you can see the lines so much better this way in the trash. Just be careful when it's connected to something like that. But that didn't cause a problem. I don't know why that line's there. Get rid of that font. That line is from tracing. Now, there's a couple of things you could do. There's multiple lines on the inside. So what I'm going to do is take it, hit the plus key and make a copy. You could go through here and take your pick tool and get rid of a lot of these inner lines. It'd be a lot of work. But see, you're going to lose something. So my suggestion is take it and smart fill it and have your nudge factor ready. I'm going to use blue, and I'm going to hit that. Oh, I'm in wireframe, remember? So let's back up here. So, okay, I didn't take away the color. Let's do this. Let's take away the color. And another thing I might try is to trace it in a grayscale. So anyway, I'm going to turn that blue, move it over. I'm going to move all the parts over. And a little bit time consuming, but so you're going to have a space between. And what's cool about this, you can see what you missed. And then you have to get the feathers. So I'm just clicking on it and then right-clicking it over. So the lines that are in there are going to cause us to have a space. I've already got his hand. I've already done that. So I'm going to, instead of deleting, I'm just going to nudge it over twice. There's the turkey. When we add his eyeballs, it'll be a little better. And we could actually add those center eyeballs. I don't think I did last time. See, there are just so many lines, and I think that's their problem. But we need some sort of, well, we don't have his nose yet. We don't have an outline to really distinguish the bird. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get rid of that extra one. And I'm going to, and I'm going to make sure there's something right here I did not get. When something like this, you pretty much want everything, so it won't look funny. That's really about it. I don't have the turkey's foot. Now, so this would actually engrave right now if we turn it black. But we need an outline. So what I'm going to do is make a duplicate and move it over. And I'm going to left click, right click. And I am going to put a boundary around it. And then I'm going to move the boundary over. And I'm going to go to Effects and Contour. I'm going to contour the outside just 0.01 with rounded corners. That put a little, because we're so small. And what it's going to do, it went inside a little bit. So we might have to go more. Yeah, it went inside. We want it's going to, if we do enough, it will not be able to get into the inside. I just want a boundary around the outside. And it's probably going in because it's taking a long time. Well, you know what? That's perfect. Now, what I'm going to do, I don't want that big a boundary. I'm going to go to Object, break the contour apart. And now I'm going to take the contour, move it down. This time I'm going to go to the inside, 0.0, let's say 2. Just a little bit less, you know what, let's do 3. 0.03. Break that contour apart. And I'm sorry that this isn't that much help. So now that we have this, see how it, let me zoom in. And if we make this is a hairline. If we make it like a half a point and move it up, that's pretty good. It's rough, but you know, you could clean it up a little bit. You know, take this back to a hairline, and you know, that's pretty smooth. That's not bad. The Santa himself is just a little rough, but you know, just depending on how big it is. So click on your Santa and just get your smoothing tool. Of course, you'd want to do the contour first or after this, and just kind of smooth up these parts. So a lot of people get confused on the contour tool on the smoothing tool because it's not working. Well, you've got to click on the item to get it to, then you can see the nodes. So if we cleaned it up like this, and for the one I'm doing this for, I'm not going to do the whole thing. I mean, you could go all over it. What I meant by, let's clean this up a little bit. You could do it with the shape tool, but the smoothing tool is so nice. Now, what we're doing, we're creating more problems. So I'm just going to back up. And then you could use the shape tool on this if you wanted to kind of move this outwardly and make that bigger, you know, still. I guess that's just cheek, like on the other side. But that would engrave. Now put this up there, and you got a boundary that's going to kind of make it stand out. Maybe 1 point, maybe just a 0.75 of a point. And I would, you know, fix the turkey's fingers. Okay, I've got it grouped together. Whenever you can't use the shape tool, it's because it's grouped together. Well, maybe not. Let's move that down. Oh, okay. What is happening, I was grabbing my, the border because it was bigger. And see, like right there, you could definitely use the smoothing tool on that or the shape tool and just delete some of those nodes and kind of clean up his finger a little bit. I call that a whoop-de-doo. You know, take the smoothing tool and just touch it and just barely leave any motion there. And you could do his beard or whatever that is. You know, you might want to take away stuff like that. This would be a good for the shape tool. Just select all these nodes. This is a good way to get rid of something. Let's just move these. Try not to get the nodes on the other side. And when you get to 2 nodes, take those 2 nodes and select them both and right click and turn them into a line. You know, get rid of that whoop-de-doo. Then let's bring our outline back. And I think it looks pretty good. Now, I would test that on a piece of sample wood. You know, you've got enough space between them where your yellow box is going to be the wood, or the yellow, the yellow showing through is the wood, and the black is the engraving. The only other thing I would suggest, and try it, if you're happy with that, don't worry about it. But if you're not completely happy with that, you know, take some of these colors away. Let's go to, okay, see, I'm grabbing the outside again. Grab that bird and put well, you wouldn't want all of it like that, but you could definitely, and see how rough that is? I mean, that's terrible. I keep changing the subject. See, it's just a little bit of time. And for the one I'm doing it for, I'm going to send you this file that I'm through with. I'm not going to work on it any longer past the video, because I want you to try it. But you could do a lot with this, and you know, make his beard a lighter color. Of course, it's doing that. But when you put the outline around there and you engrave that, it's going to look pretty good, I think. But I would try. So if you're not happy with it, do the two-part engraving. And by that, I'm going to just take this. Let's say you're going to put it to the top of your laser bed. Of course, it'll be a lot bigger. Let's make it bigger, hopefully. And take this gray and nudge it. Okay, I'm going to change my nudge distance to like 5. And I'm going to see it. Every time you do it, it's normally going to grab the outside. And I think I moved it. Let me back up. Okay, move that over twice. Then take his beard and move this over. Grab the outline back. This is what I mean by running twice. Run that as whatever power and speed you normally like. And then take that and move that out of the way and put this back. And then engrave that at 100 power at 20, 20 power, or no, let's say 30 power at 100 speed, and just see what it looks like. And also if you're working on a piece of wood that you're going to have to sand, you could, and let's say this is only going to work if your plaque is square, and you can put it right back in your laser. You could run this, take it out of your laser and sand it, and then put it back and run this, and you'll be engraving so lightly that you won't have to sand again. So I'll send you a couple of these files on the sheet, and feel free to use them, but really try it yourself and kind of clean things up. I hope that helps somebody someday, and thank you for watching.